Hello GBA fans, and welcome to week 3 of Around the Rhyhorn. I'm your host, BulkyCottonCandy, and alongside me, I have my co-host.
How's it going, everybody? I am Spastic.
And today we have two very special guests, as always. We have our guest analyst, KantoCastBlue.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you guys.
And joining us from the heavens above, we are graced with the presence of the one, the only, our Lord and Savior, Lord Emvee.
What's poppin', guys? You already know it's your boy.
Alright, so this week we are talking about Wallbreakers. So let's just jump straight into our main topics, and the first thing is what are some characteristics of a good Wallbreaker? Why don't you go ahead and kick us off, Lord and Savior?
Alright, so the purpose of a good wall breaker is to punch massive holes through teams, and it's pretty much what the name suggests. You want to break walls and break common defensive cores with a single Pokemon, and a good wall breaker would be able to overwhelm these kinds of walls using raw power, great coverage, or even a boosting move, for instance, like Swords Dance or Nasty Plot or Calm Mind, anything like that. You want to be able to use this Pokemon to beat both physical and special walls, and a good example of a wall breaker is Choice Banded Terrakion, because it pretty much has the ability to plow through Skarmory. It can plow through special walls, so it can beat both physical and special walls, and that's kind of what you want for a wall breaker. Those are the kind of desirable traits you need for a wall breaker, is having the versatility to beat walls from either side of the defensive spectrum.
Yeah, I feel like one of the big characteristics that some people miss when they're talking about wall breakers, because there was actually a discussion about this beforehand between like a wall breaker and a sweeper, or like a setup sweeper or something like that. I think move pool is super important, because one Mon can get sent in and then you're just completely walled because you've got two options, whereas someone with like access to Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower, like that's a pretty diverse coverage type, I would say, that would kind of get you out of a sticky situation if someone sent in a wall against you.
And I think something else that is key for wall breakers is to have a good ability, like Reckless or Adaptability, something that can really boost their attacks to ridiculous levels, and just allow them to plow through whole lineups of teams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sheer force.
Yep. Yeah, pure power is another example, of course. Huge power.
Mm-hmm. Going off what Blue said, like we were saying earlier in the conversation, I was saying there's a big difference between wall breakers and sweepers, because sweepers are something that can come in, set up like a Swords Dance, and then just like wreck through everything, while wall breaker is something that like brings them on down to like 50% or like 60% at the most, and then or even lower, and then that allows that sweeper to come in and take that Mon out.
I mean, a wall breaker can still put in enough work in order to get rid of the wall completely.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to, it's not limited to, of course, just bringing it down enough for another Pokemon to take it down. It can still pretty much put the Pokemon down to completely 0 HP if possible.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, if there's a chance that something can come in, set up like a Swords Dance or a Nasty Plot or something, and actually take that Mon out in one hit, it's better to have your wall breaker just bring it down to a low amount of HP.
Right, definitely.
Alright, so moving on, why are wall breakers important?
So, let's say we are in a tier without wall breakers. That would pretty much mean that the dominant playstyles in the tier would be balance and a more defensive, of course, stall. So those would be more prevalent in the tier. So it would mean that, of course, offense would be less commonly seen or less useful if there weren't a lot of wall breakers.
So Little Cup.
Little Cup?
Yeah. Little Cup.
You don't really have walls in
there's
Little
not
Cup,
a lot,
I suppose.
There's not a lot. Well, there's not really many wall breakers either.
Darumaka.
There are a lot more, I would say there are a lot more setup sweepers in Little Cup than wall breakers. I mean, there are very common walls that people like to bring, such as Porygon, which is very common in Little Cup, as well as what is the little Aromatisse thing?
Spritzy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a pretty common one there as well.
It's Little Cup Florges. It literally is Little Cup Florges. Okay. Yeah, that's just. I don't know. It's like I love and hate Spritzee at the same time. I'm a little cut player, so that's just it. Anyways, moving on. Which Pokemon is your favorite wall breaker and why?
Lord Emvee,
Well-
if you want to take this.
All right, I'll take it. I really like a wall breaker that I really enjoy using is probably going to be Mega Gardevoir. I mean, that thing literally just comes in. It has access. I mean, it literally Combine Mega Gardevoir is such a great wall breaker. Not necessarily a setup sweeper, of course, because just after one Combine, you can pretty much break through both physical and special walls. So, like I said before, or hopefully I said this before, a good thing about a wall breaker is that you're able to beat both physical and special walls with your coverage, as well as just the ability to, I guess, set up one move and just have the ability or the potential to take down both the physical and special side of the defense spectrum. So having Mega Gardevoir is nice because Hyper Voice just blows back physical walls, of course, and special walls get taken down by Psyshock, and it just has great coverage in order to deal with the wide array of defensive annoyances.
Especially since it gets that stab boost from Pixelate.
Exactly. Yep, that's another ability which makes it even more powerful.
It's basically +2 at that point if you have a Calm Mind up.
Right.
Blue, what are your thoughts?
On favorite wall breaker?
Yeah, who's your favorite wall breaker?
Oh man. So I have to say I've been in love with mixed Victini lately. Because V-Create is just kind of, as Fizz said, a win button. And it can pretty much crush through anything. I mean, especially if you get special and physical Victini. I mean, nothing's going to take less than 50% on that thing. It's got ridiculous coverage against the walls.
Yeah, Mixed Victini actually is it's of course it's a wall breaker, but it's more of also a lure. It's a very good lure, so it can actually lure certain walls, like say like a lot of stall teams run Quagsire, and you would at first glance expect maybe Victini is probably going to be Scarf or Ban maybe, and you could bop that with an energy ball. So that's a really good way to, I guess, lure in walls and be able to put in work, and it has good power as well, so that's also nice.
Spastic?
My favorite physical wall breaker is probably Staraptor. I mean, Reckless with a base 125 attack and base 100 speed. It's a good speed tier, and it's dual stab boosted by Reckless. I mean, you've got Double Edge. It hits like a truck. You've got Brave Bird. It hits like a truck. And then for like Rock and Steel types, which resist its dual stabs, it gets close combat. So, no, nothing is standing in its way. And then, just for kicks and giggles, throw on U-turn. Let me set you up for another sweeper. Get out of my way. I'm out of here. Bye. So, yeah, Staraptor.
Staraptor's a great example of a Pokemon that can actually 2-hit KO Hippowdon, which is really nice.
That Brave Bird, though. And hey, it also has a base 100 HP, so it can run a really good Final Gambit as a good suicide and just take out a big, not a really big wall. Like, it can't take out a Vaporeon, but it can take out like Florges, Umbreon, and some of the other lower HP walls. So all sorts of wall breaking potential.
I've been playing a lot of Yu lately, and something I've really been using more as a wall breaker instead of a sweeper like most people do is Mega Absol. I've been using it more to just because it has a base 150 attack stat, which is freaking monstrous. It's only 10 less than Hoopa and Bound, so it's really good. And it gets coverage with Night Slash and Play Rough. And so I think it doesn't. No, it doesn't get close combat.
No, but it does get.
No, I got it. Yeah, it's superpower.
Superpower, yeah, that's what. Yeah, and so just off of that, it's really good coverage, and if you set up a sword stance, you're gonna sweep. But even if you don't set up a sword stance, you're gonna get really good damage off on pretty much anything.
And plus, its special attack is nothing to laugh at either. I mean, with Bolt Beam coverage, Fire Blast. So it's really good because it can reasonably take out like some stronger special defenders. Not as great, but it's still not to be trifled with.
Yeah, and there's not really a way to really break it down with anything like rocks or spikes or anything like that because of its magic bounce ability once it Mega Evolves.
Right, and relating Mega Absol to the OU tier, like you said about the good special attack, that could be also used to break walls as well, since Skarmory, as it would probably be an answer to a more physical set, but running Fire Blast would be able to punch holes through physical walls like Skarmory, for instance, or Ferrothorn, and Ice Beam can take down stuff like defensive Garchomp, for instance. So that's also a really good example of how Absol can wall break in the OU tier.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like Mega Absol in UU.
Mega Absol in general.
Alright, so moving on to our lightning round. So it's just going to be something you just answer really, really quickly. Off the top of your head, what's the first wall breaker that comes to your mind? Alright, so we had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Anyways, as I said, off the top of your head, what's the first wall breaker that comes to mind?
I'm gonna have to go with the recently banned from OU tier, Hoopa Unbound. That was a monster. That you could literally slap on either. You could put a choice band on that in wall break, or you could run like a mixed life orb set, and that also was a really good wall breaker. And that got banned pretty quickly. Well, not too quickly, but it got banned because of its wall breaking potential.
Because it has base 160 attack and base 170 special attack. I think it's through the roof.
Is that a lot? I don't. Am I missing something?
Ridiculous, dude. It's freaking crazy.
Thank you. I understood. That's why it was so funny.
Okay. I thought you were. I couldn't tell if you were serious or being sarcastic, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, do you even play Pokemon?
Oh my Lanta, thank you,
Blue.
Blue.
So quiet. I had to lighten things up a bit.
Spastic, what's yours?
Emboar. I mean, I know I said Staraptor for like one of my favorite wall breakers, but Emboar. Oh. Head Smash, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Double Edge, ew. It's a really strong wall breaker.
Blue?
Yeah, it's really good in the RU tier. Very
it has
powerful.
a really good
not a lot of Pokemon can
base
switch in on it.
110 HP, I believe. So it can dish out a lot of hits and not lose all of its life in one go.
Yeah, that's true. And it gets boosted by the Reckless ability, which is really good.
Blue, anything?
I mean, I really like the Nido twins. I feel like a Sheer Force Nido
Life
Queen
Orb,
or
yeah.
Nido King. Yeah, I mean
that's true.
That's the move pool is freaking ridiculous on those things.
They're both pretty good, spatially and physically.
Yeah, I mean it's. I have underestimated the Nido twins before. And
it's ridiculous the amount of coverage they get. I mean, Bolt Beam, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, Dragon Pulse, just from the special side, and then physical, you've got Mega Horn, Earthquake, Poison Jab, Outrage. Friggin' Nidos get Outrage.
Yeah, it's not
especially good in a league format. In a league format where you can literally tailor your Nido King set or Nido Queen set to what your opponent has.
It's definitely
it's definitely very
one of the most diverse wall breakers out there.
Another one of my favorite wall breakers is Entei, because Extreme Speed and Sacred Fire is gonna do damage to anything, and plus it has that 50% chance to burn. I mean, it's base 300 power after the stab boost, so with that 115 attack stat. I just really like Entei as like something that can just hit hard, and it takes hits pretty well as well. And as long as you don't leave it in.
Yeah, it's got some nice natural bulk, and not even bulky physical waters like Slowbro appreciate taking a Sacred Fire to the face.
Nothing appreciates a Sacred Fire. Alright, so not really going very fast in the lightning round, but who cares? Anyways, last question of the lightning round. What's the best wall breaker that's been used against you?
Sorry, memories.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. Hoop Unbound. I was not prepared when that thing got into OU. I was not prepared. I was like, yeah, it's Hoop Unbound. I guess it's pretty good. I mean, I'll use this as something that can kind of take it out. And then I got completely destroyed.
I guess I'll say one that nobody's said yet. Mega Medicham is definitely a really, really scary wall breaker, especially since they even at -1 they'll Loco Garchomp, defensive Garchomp and Lando T, which is very scary with Ice Punch, and it's just a very powerful Pokemon. And if your opponent predicts right, it can become very scary.
I feel like Medicham is overshadowed a little bit by Mega Glade, but
Right, but then like Mega Glade kind of needs to have to set up a Swords Dance in order to sort of equate to the power that Mega Medicham has without
right,
setting
Mega
up.
Medicham is just you click high jump kick as long as there's no ghost type who dies.
Exactly.
Yeah, the thing about Mega Glade, though, it has a bit of a wider move pool than Mega Medicham. I like Mega Glade over Mega Medicham because it gets things like Leaf Blade and Shadow Sneak. It gets the elemental punches, close combat.
Yeah, it does have a great move pool.
I mean, plus you can use you can go with a bulk up set to, if you don't want to just go for straight damage, you can actually prolong its survivability. But that's just me.
I just wish
Mega Glade, I mean,
Glade was a little faster. That's the only thing I wish.
For which one, Mega Medicham or Glade?
Glade.
I mean, it's based
both technically, I guess.
Mega Glade is
I
based
feel like for
110
Mega Glade
speed
to be... Yeah, I feel like for Mega Glade to be more of a wall breaker, it needs a bit more power because, like, as of now, I mean, if you run just like coverage and stuff, it still can't break through. It can't break through Skarmory unless it sets up an SD, or as like Mega Medicham literally 2-hit KO Skarmory with high jump kick really easily. So I feel like it's more sort of a setup sweeper in this case than anything. For it to be more of a wall breaker, I think Mega Glade needs more power. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
Going off what Blue said about speed, that's literally the only thing that makes Metagross so good is that it gets a 40%. It gets a 40 point stat boost in its speed when it Mega Evolves from 70 to 110. And that's the one thing that makes Metagross so good because its attack stat is already base 135. It doesn't really need anything more to just hit hard. It just needs to be faster.
Then slap Tough Claws on there, because why not?
Yeah, and you get that too. And so it's just another thing that just makes Metagross so freaking good and just not a nightmare for anyone that goes up against it.
There's a solid reason why it's not allowed in the GBA anymore.
That too, it gets Grass Knot too, which hits a lot of the Pokemon that can otherwise wall Metagross.
And its special attack stat isn't all that bad either. Base 105.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not looking at its base stats right now.
Hey, just rattle it off the top. Actually, I think it's base 110.
No, I actually am looking at its stats. Base 145 attack, 150 defense, 105 special attack, 110 special defense, and 110 speed.
Rest in peace,
It's a
Spastic.
monster, yeah. And it's my mascot, of course. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay, so moving on to the last thing, it's our debatable topic. There's pretty much 2 popular ways of wall breaking. I guess it's more stall breaking versus wall breaking. It's direct counters by like choice attackers and stat boosting moves like Dragon Dance, Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, whatever. And then there's kind of the more stall breaking side of like trapping with Magnet Pull or Arena Trap, Mean Look, stuff like that. Trick and Switcheroo, obviously, and then Explosion. So in your opinion, which one do you think is best?
Should I go first on this one, or anyone else want to take the bat?
I'll go ahead and jump on this one. Save the better ones for last. I'm gonna say wall breaking, cause stall breaking usually takes a lot more technicality and nuances to set up. Like, you have to know that your opponent is putting a wall in front of you, so you can trick a choice item onto it, or you can encore it or taunt it. You have to know that they're about to set up on you. Whereas wall breaking, you just click your strongest move and, go head first and break whatever wall is in front of you.
Yeah, example A, Victini, V-Create.
Oi.
I agree with Spastic. I like to punch through things, and that's way more fun than trying to be like methodical and play the game through. I just like to hit things really hard sometimes.
Victini, smash!
Yeah, I mean,
tiny little
they're
1
both
foot thing and just destroys everything. Anyways, go ahead. Totally off topic.
Alright, so, I mean, they're both, of course, completely different things. Wall breaking, of course, more on the offensive, physical, or special attacking side, whereas, stall breaking it's more, I guess, it can be more defensively oriented in order to break stall, to break walls and stuff. For instance, like, stall breaker Mew, it uses taunt, it's able to shut them down completely. Like, when you're talking about stall breaking, you're pretty much referring to using moves such as taunt, status, like toxic for instance, knockoff. You can boost your defenses so they can't break through you, or just like being immune. For instance, being immune to status is another way of shutting down different types of walls. So that's kind of more stall breaking. It can be used on a more defensive scale, whereas wall breaking, just punching through stuff. Of course, that's really fun to do, as you guys all said. But like an example of, like I said, stall breaker Mew is just a great way of shutting down stall, because it can taunt and it can will-o-wisp, wear them down. It has access to recovery, which is nice. Another example of a stall breaker is something like Gliscor, for instance, because it has access to taunt, roost, toxic, and knockoff. It's able to it can SD, it can taunt. I mean, there's
Poison
a wide
heal.
variety of. What did you say? Sorry.
Poison heal.
Poison heal, exactly. Yeah, so like Pokemon that have like walls like such as Chansey with Seismic Toss can't really do much to that. And I mean, I guess it just depends on what you prefer. They're both completely different things, but both of them are great ways of dealing with just walls in general. And of course, stall is just pretty much the category of using a lot of walls on the same team.
Yeah, I would like to say that I'm that guy that likes to be like, I'm just gonna run normal Gem Explosion Gigalith, because why not? Because nothing that comes in is going to appreciate that unless it's a ghost type.
Dusclops.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing's gonna
Exactly.
appreciate it unless it's a ghost type. Then when it comes down to it, I'm actually that person that's like, let's not do that, because I'm just that type of person that's like, I'm gonna joke that I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just not gonna follow through, because I just get nervous about it. So I feel like for me, in my opinion, wall breaking is the best way to do it. But I really enjoy when people do the more kind of cheeky stuff with like stall breaking and explosion, things like that. I mean, like that.
Explosion, normal Gem Explosion from Gigalith only does like 33.8 to 39% to Skarmory.
It was just an example. It was the first thing that came to my mind that has explosion.
Normal Gem Explosion just to.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other things that get explosion, like a Zelf gets explosion. There's some others that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Metagross.
Yeah, but I mean, like that was just the first thing that came to my head. I know Gigalith isn't all that great against it, but it's just the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah,
On the
I
first
mean, I've
fun
used
one.
Gigalith and OU just for fun. It's a great suicide lead.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Another fun way to take care of walls. It's not really like indirect or direct. It's phasing out. Roar, Whirlwind, Dragon Tail. Like, if you know a wall is sitting in front of you, just blow it out of the way and set up for something else. It's
Yeah,
not necessarily wall breaking.
In order for that to, I guess, work, you need to be able to have a lot of hazards on your opponent's side, because I mean, if you phase out a wall, they can come back in later and just do the exact same thing. So when you're talking about phasing, you probably want to combine that with rock spikes, maybe toxic spikes, for instance. A lot, like just a combination of all of those can really hurt walls, and it can. I mean, because with just phasing, I mean, it's not going to do anything other than they'll come back in later. So I guess it's the combination that's really nice.
Alright, so that is all the time we have for today. So if you guys enjoyed Around the Rhyhorn, don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button to the GBA channel if you haven't already. I've been BulkyCottonCandy. I want to thank Lord Emvee and Blue for joining us, and of course Spastic for sticking out throughout the weeks. And all your useful links are down in the description below. Please go check out everyone there, and we will see you guys next week on Around the Rhyhorn. Thanks for coming out. Bye!